53 for the overnight low on Saturday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, breezy from the southwest. So we're going to warm it up to about 80 degrees on Saturday. Saturday night, clouds take over. A couple of light showers late night, but very limited, 55. Monday for Mother's Day, an early morning shower. Otherwise, partly sunny and cooler Sunday, 68. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got a cloudy sky right now, 70 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, the biggest highway delays we have right now are on Highway 70. If you're westbound on Highway 70, you're bumper to bumper approaching Highway K. It goes out to an incident right before Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Stop and go pockets through there. And then eastbound 70, we had an incident at David Hochul Parkway. They may be clearing it. Traffic's jammed midway between Wright City and Forestell into that one as well. Again, I can't tell if it's a stall or a crash there. Westbound 64 Hampton headed out through Big Bend is slow. A backup from Winghaven and most of the way to 364 from a recent crash, and then it's slow. Lake St. Louis Boulevard out to 70. Southbound 270, the bulk of the volume is Sappington down to 55. North 270 before Doherty Ferry, an incident cleared to the shoulder, a little slow there. The ramps from 64 onto North 270 backed up. South 170 heavy at the Parkway. North 170 Scudder to Airport Road is slow. And on the Illinois side, eastbound 64 backed up 255 to 157. Next update at 5:20 from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
News, traffic, and the latest on the Redbirds. This is the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, kicking it off on a Friday here on Redbird Rush Hour. We got head bopping in the studio. Bernie's going. I'm going. Matt, you get a little bit?
I feel like I'm not in the cool kids
You're not
club.
in the turnstile club.
No,
Bernie gets it. Bernie and I get it. Kyle gets it.
Kevin, Bernie.
We gotta get Matt. We gotta get you into this.
Okay.
Hey, I'm obsessed with turnstile. By the way, Wheels, I should probably tell you this off the air because we got work to do, but the Orioles are having a turnstile night where they're giving away a special jersey. Like if there's a ticket package, like an Orioles, jersey top that's got turnstile on the back. I think the band will be there. You want to go? You want to fly in?
I would love to do that. That sounds like so much fun. It just sounds like so much, and they are so much fun, which is why we love them, Matt. We're gonna bring you in to the Turnstile fan club.
Okay, if there's one album that most like, if you're saying, what's my Turnstile gateway?
So
drug?
the song, it's a song, not an album.
Okay,
the song "Birds" is probably the best one to get you started because it's got a really slow build up, and then it's got a middle part that's really good, and then it just drops and it's awesome.
Because if I'm just gonna listen to one of their albums to see if that gets me, that's what I want to go with.
Yeah. But I mean, just search the song "Birds."
Okay.
That whole every record I've listened to, I'm sure you agree, Bern, and Kyle agrees. They're all good. Everything's good. There's nothing down. There's no, there are songs that are different pace. They change the pace up a little bit here and there. But Birds kind of covers it all.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll play that one later for you. We'll play some of it. We'll play the breakdown part for him later so we can get Matt into this club. DJ Kyle
Wheels.
Sixta. No, it's Kyle. DJ Kyle Sixta taking the orders here today. Obviously, we're here to talk baseball and celebrate Turnstile Friday. So we're doing both of those things. Boys, it's been obviously been a really good year. I think all of us surprised, happy that it's been better than expected. Another good win last night. Matthew Liberatore, I thought, guys, was probably his best outing of the year.
The curveball. It was there. To me,
Slider was really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slider and curveball last night, the Padres against those two pitches were 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. So I think they're working pretty good.
Yeah, we were kicking it around yesterday, Bern, in advance of the game, wondering if, there's a little bit different way that they could use his pitch mix because he still throws the majority of his pitches are fastball and changeups, which are fine. That's not a problem necessarily, but none of his fastballs are particularly effective, and he almost never throws the cutter. So the four seam and the sinker don't miss a lot of bats, but the breaking balls do and the changeups do. And we were just wondering if we would see a different pitch mix. Last night it felt like it. I didn't really break it down pitch by pitch, but it felt like it was a little different mix.
Yeah, and I think Matt would agree with this too. He definitely leaned more on his curveball and his slider. I mean, especially the curveball. Like it was just something that jumped out at you because both of those pitches were so good.
Yeah.
And I don't ever remember really thinking that all that much in some of his other starts.
Yeah, great.
So he threw 27 four-seamers last night. That was 33% of his repertoire. And then the rest, he went to 18 changeups, 16 curveballs, 15 sliders, 3 sinkers, and 2 cutters. So he's, the four-seam fastball.
So he cut back on the sinkers. What really happened there? Yeah.
The four-seam fastball is essentially the only fastball he's showing, with just 5 of the others. But then we saw more of the changeup, more of the slider,
Yeah.
or more of the curveball, more of the slider.
I think that, to me, getting more out of Liberatore is one of the key challenges on the year. Not so much, we're not trying to make him an ace, but I think there's more there based on the quality of his pitches. And sometimes I feels like we fall back too much on, or not we, that he falls back, and I don't know if it's the game plan or it's just what he's comfortable with when you're in the game environment, that it seems like it's too similar. But if you've got a couple of pitches that are legitimately good, I'd love to see more of them. The most effective pitches he's thrown this year are changeups and breaking balls. I mean, more of those is still is okay.
I mean, he's a big horse out there,
Yeah.
and listen. He can be an imposing, intimidating presence and be that way without striking out like 28% of the guys. I mean, he's just got really great stuff, and it comes at hitters from a lot of different angles. So, yeah, his last 2 starts have been pretty good.
Yes.
I could do better with a few less walks, but his pitches are moving better, and he seems more confident, and he seems kind of ticked off in a good way.
Yeah.
He got 9 swings and misses last night, and 7 of those came between the slider and the curveball.
Yeah.
So that tells you if that's what you're getting, if 80% of your whiffs are coming on those 2 pitches, and you want to set up those pitches with I'm not upset with his usage of the four-seamer last night, but it did feel like at times this year he uses the four-seamer in a way that where it's almost being used as an out pitch, where yesterday it felt like the four-seamer was more setting up the out pitches because he hasn't been using those out pitches as much.
Yeah, and I think, Bernie, you hit on a really key point there when we're talking about the use of these pitches and the way that this gets distributed. It's not necessarily that he doesn't have the stuff. I just don't know that he commands the fastball that great, but the movement on the breaking pitches is excellent. They're very sharp. They come out of the same tunnel, so he gets a little more effective and out of that. But the fastball, I mean, teams still slug 500 against it, and the expected is higher than that. It's 670 or 620 or something like that. And I'm not saying you don't use it. You got to use it differently. And again, last night we did, and we saw less hard contact last night than we had seen previously. I
mean, I think when people are crushing your fastball, and the fastball is always going to be a primary pitch, you have to change the order. You have to go in reverse. Yeah. You don't throw it when counts you've been throwing it. You got to throw it when they're not expecting it, and you use the breaking balls to kind of make your fastball better. I mean, that's real old-fashioned stuff, you know?
Yep.
You got to change. You got to reorder how he uses it.
Well, we can transition right what you said there, Burn, to tonight, because I think that's what Michael McGreevy does really well. He's more precise with his command, and his stuff's not better than Liberatore's stuff, but his command is. And if Libby could be sharper with the command, maybe the results look more like McGreevy, even though we all know the underlying stuff on McGreevy still got some warning signs.
The changeup is dynamic. It's made a huge, huge difference for him because it keeps the Wolves off of his fastball. I mean, it really does. I mean, he really messes with them that way. So I think he'll outperform his metrics all year.
Yeah.
And I just don't know to what extent.
Yes.
And there might be a couple of 3 bad nights or whatever, but he's a smart pitcher, man, and he knows what works. He knows how to use it. He's really, really sharp and of mind, but also just his pitching is sharp. He doesn't beat himself, and that's a huge part of it.
And he's tough. He's tough out there.
Agreed.
If something happens that goes against him, he doesn't falter. There's some guys, we've all seen them. There's been a million pitchers out there that it's the quicksand. One thing goes wrong and then everything else goes terribly wrong after. And I think even really good pitchers, sometimes you get knocked in the face and it takes you a second to regroup. I never see that with Michael. And he's demonstrative on the mound. Like, he's the most entertaining pitcher that the Cardinals have to watch because he wears his emotions out there, but it's not in a negative way. A lot of people, it's a negative way. It's not negative with him. He's just out there. He's a big personality already. He brings his personality to the way he pitches, which is good. We should all bring our personalities to everything that we do. It's our one unique thing that we have. So he brings his personality to his pitching, and I think it really works out well.
Am I a bad person if I say I didn't really appreciate Miles Michaelis bringing his personality?
You're not a bad person. No.
Okay, all right. I was just trying to get a ruling there.
Sometimes less is more. If the personality.
I'll tell you another personality that at first I liked, but then as the years went by, I was like, no, Jack Flaherty.
Yeah,
Jack Flaherty, and he's doing that in Detroit.
Yeah, he's
having meltdowns all over the place.
He does. He gets the stink face real fast. And he did this here too. This is not new, but he's he's had a year or two in his career where he didn't have that. Right. But it's all about adversity. So when adversity strikes Jack Flaherty, it bothers him and he gets worse. When he doesn't have adversity, he skates. I mean, he's smooth. His stuff is good. He gets swings and misses. But he has a real hard time, and you guys agree that this is what we saw here when he was struggling. He just can't get out of jams. If things are going badly, he goes badly. And when things are good, he just keeps on rolling good, and that's kind of what balances out his numbers. But yeah, you're right, guys. That's what's happening for him right now. He was better the other day, but this season, it's every time there's a jam, he can't get out of it.
Hey, before we take a break, can I just throw something in? I should have texted you guys before the show. Can we talk about the bullpen a little bit?
Yeah.
At some point.
Why don't we do this? We'll do it next segment.
Yeah. Matt, unless you got something you want to jump into, brother? Okay.
Great transition. We'll go from starting pitching to the bullpen coming up next. Bernie, before we do that, tell us about our mutual friend Stewie.
There's some exciting news. It's a special offer. Stewart's American Mortgage, and you just call Stewart Rosenblum. You can call him Stewie, but he's got a special offer. I want to lead with this for new clients. New clients. And only for a limited time, he's got an unbelievable deal for all new customers who are buying a home. 1% discount on interest rate for the first year. A 1% discount on the interest rate for the first year. So for the first year of your new loan, you lock in a 1% lower interest rate on a new 30-year loan, and you still get the bagel loan, which means no closing costs. 30-year mortgage interest rate lower by 1% for the first year of the new loan, plus the bagel loan for new clients only. So what you're going to want to do with this is get in touch with Stewie to get in there and get the thing rolling on this. Just, as always, you can call him on his personal phone, and that's not a gimmick. He really means it. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. If you don't feel like doing it this weekend, give him a ring early next week. He'll get back to you. You can also text him, and then he'll call you as soon as he can. The big difference with Stewart's American Mortgage, in addition to this great offer it's on the table now, is the bagel loan makes all the difference, period. It looks like a zero because a bagel's got the hole in the middle, and no matter what you're trying to do in refinancing, it's a really great time for that. For example, you're just going to not have to worry about a lot of these fees that other people that finance homes just hit you with. Stewart's not going to do that. So again, take advantage of the new offer. Google bagel loan or call his personal cell 314-324-4440. It's Stewart's American Mortgage.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, westbound Highway 70 has a little slowdown right through Zumbel, and then you're bogged down again from T.R. Hughes. It's bumper to bumper through Highway K, but it opens up before you get to Bryan Road because that crash we had between Bryan and Lake St. Louis, it was in the left lane. They moved it to the right shoulder. We still have backed up traffic on eastbound 70, stop-and-go pockets east of Wright City, all the way in through David Hokel Parkway because of an incident that obviously is still out there. So it's pretty solid bumper to bumper all the way through there. Westbound 64, Hampton headed out to Big Bend is slow, and it's backed up in pockets from Winghaven to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, and then slow from there to 70. Eastbound 64, McKnight to Big Bend, slow. South 170 delays at the Parkway. South 270 is cleared out. The ramp from 64 onto North 270 still backed up both directions. Southbound 55 a little slow at Merrimack Bottom and at Highway Z. Eastbound 70 still a short backup through Packers Avenue. Eastbound 64 on the brakes approaching 255 through 157. Westbound 64 50 through 159, a couple of slow spots. And eastbound 44 is backed up downtown through the Arch Grounds. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, Matt. See, we're starting to get you in. Bernie's going. We got to get you going, too. Bernie, this would be a great one to be in the pit, man. You've seen the videos of their concerts. Man. This is the one. People are up on stage with them dancing and stage diving. This is OG stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And that video, all kinds of videos for that song, Birds.
Yeah.
You can go see that. But, yeah, they take me back a little bit. My days where there was abandoned furniture warehouses, there were punk shows, and I'd be in the middle of it. And because I was the big guy.
Yeah, everybody's coming at you.
Everybody's just like pounding the heck out of me, and I'm leaving. And it wasn't violent. Like there was no malice intended.
No.
So, I'm walking out like in this abandoned furniture warehouse in the downtown Baltimore. My shirt ripped, got a bloody nose. So anyway,
if I go to the pit, I need to go with you and Matt, like the two, because everybody will target you guys and leave me alone. They won't even see me standing next to you guys. I'm too short. You guys will look like you're with your son. The little guy. Who's that little guy? All right, so obviously having fun with the music. Let's get back to the Cardinals. Obviously taking on the Padres tonight. We talked about McGreevy and Liberatore in the last segment, and we've done a lot on the rotation. And Bern, you mentioned you want to get into some things on the bullpen. Let's do that now. I think obviously it's been a bit of a mixed bag, but to start the conversation, and you take it wherever you want. Yeah. What a find Riley O'Brien has been. What a great addition, and ever since he's gotten healthy, has just done nothing but get people out.
Another strikeout last night. No walks. I think it was at 19 strikeouts and 1 walk now, something like that. But who another really fantastic find was George Soriano.
Yeah.
And I think what fired me up last night was seeing how this thing could set up regularly when the Cardinals have a lead. Now, I want to say this, preface this by saying, Ollie Marmol can't, every time the Cardinals have a lead, he can't just automatically go Soriano in the 7th, Romero in the 8th, and O'Brien in the 9th, because there are going to be times where one guy's not available. Right. Sometimes he's going to use Soriano for 2 innings. But I have so much confidence in Soriano, and it looks like JoJo Romero's got his crispness back, and Riley O'Brien's great. All of a sudden, when you look at it in a way where it looks like Dusty Blake and Ollie Marmol have made the decision, this is how they would like to go with this, as much as possible. That's a really formidable final 3 guys at the back end of your bullpen. You add Graceffo to the mix, and we'll see what happens later on with some other people coming up maybe. I wish Justin Brule would come up with a pitch or something, or maybe he decides he wants to take up a hobby.
More
I don't know.
Strikes, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? And I do think Ryan Stanek, I really do believe, if you look at his underlying metrics, I do believe he's going to be better. So we hope. But anyway, I loved what those three guys did last night.
Mm-hmm.
They had each pitched an inning. You know, they faced 9 batters total. There was an infield hit. Pages threw out Tatis trying to steal. And I'm thinking if they can continue to do that, that bullpen's just going to be a lot more reliable. But here's the final thing, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. Even with all the turmoil, and we've talked about this, and listen, the Cardinals offense have something to do with this because they have a lot of times shown late life offensively, where they tack onto a lead, they give the relievers some space and everything. But so the Cardinals this season, 17-1 when they have a lead after 6 innings, 18-1 when they have a lead after I'm getting this mixed up. 18-1 when they lead after 7 innings.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. 17-1 when they lead after 7 innings. 18-1 when they lead after 8 innings. 17-0 when they lead after 8 innings. I don't know why I'm screwing this up. It's not stage fright. I apologize. But so the bullpen, as bad as it's been, it hasn't cost them anything. The Cardinals in all 3 of those things, you give them a lead, let's just say from the 7th inning on, they have done a masterful job with the help of the offense of protecting it. I should have just left it at that instead of reading numbers, and I apologize.
No, I think the numbers are good.
But I will tell you this, and this one's a good one for all the people that will tell you that Ali Marmol has no idea what he's doing running a bullpen. He's clueless, Okay, right. So since the start of 2024, the Cardinals have the best winning percentage in Major League Baseball in 1-run games. I figured that out today. They also have an incredible percentage in these categories that I just told you about, where you have a late lead through 6, through 7, through 8, lock that thing down at a higher percentage in most clubs, right? They're basically the top 5. So if you look at those type of things, why do they win so many 1-run games? Why do they win games they shouldn't win? Why do they always they're all up there near the top as far as their percentage of protecting leads reliably and dependably? Like, if a clown was running the bullpen, you think this stuff would be happening?
No.
I mean, seriously, are people absolutely nuts? They dislike this guy so much personally, they can't even acknowledge something that he clearly does very well. But it gets better and better. Him and Dusty Blake are they've been sorting through things like they did early last year when it was kind of messy, and it looks like it's crystallizing just a little bit. And I think that's an encouraging sign. So I yield the microphone now. Sorry.
I think some of that, Bern, is related to one thing you mentioned about the bullpen in your bites today at STL Sports Central, and it was about Soriano. It was the part where you're talking about you don't have to go get big names. And I think the reason people get mad at Dusty Blake and Ali Marmol is they're not big names. They don't have the name recognition coming in, so you don't buy it right away, even when the evidence shows that they know what they're doing.
Right.
I know.
And Soriano is a perfect example of, like, quit being obsessed with names. Bloom and Cerfolio, Pierpont, all those guys, they can identify a pitcher and say, you know what, we can fix this guy. And that's exactly what they did with Soriano. His changeup is magnificent. Left-handed batters can't do anything with it, which makes him even more valuable.
I should have done some research on this ahead of time. It's something I'll work on later. But right now, the team bullpen ERA is 4.77. That's obviously not good. Team starters ERA is 4.21. So the two are actually only about a half run off of each other. So they're not as far apart as I think some people might think they are. Man, it was not that long ago that the bullpen ERA was high 5s, like 5.7, 5.8.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's come down a run, probably in about, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing it's come down a run in about 3.5 weeks, somewhere in there.
I'd say that's about right.
That says a lot about how the bullpen is performing right now, because even this early on in the season, reducing a run off your bullpen ERA, especially as much as the bullpen's being used by the Cardinals, that says that there's a lot of effectiveness going on down there.
Well, and these two things are both true, right? You've got a back end that's getting it done. Riley O'Brien's getting it done. JoJo, when he's not overworked, is getting it done. Graceffo's done a nice job, and Soriano has emerged. There's nothing. You look at those guys, the highest ERA in that group is 3.5, right? It's Stanek, Brule, and Swanson that have that ERA so high because those guys, I mean, Stanek is what now? He's 7-something. Brule is well over 5. Is Swanson, where is he at right now? Is he still?
That's big.
Yeah, I mean, he's. I think he's like around 9, right? 9.5. Like that's it. That's why your ERA is so high in the bullpen. It's those guys, and you need those guys. And we'll see how it plays out, but you obviously want to see those guys contribute as we go. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here on Redbird Rush Hour. Stick around, man. We got you till 6 o'clock on KMOX.
At 5:30, we've got some rain in the region. It's 70 downtown at the Arch. This update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Infectious disease experts say they don't expect the hantavirus from that Dutch-flagged cruise ship to spread like the flu and other illnesses have.
3 people have died so far from the hantavirus outbreak on that cruise ship, and health officials in several states are monitoring Americans who are passengers. But Dr. William Schaffner at Vanderbilt University says,
I anticipate we'll see a few cases of spread here and there.
Schaffner says it should not take off like wildfire the way the flu can and COVID did. Last month, more than 24 people from 12 different nations left the ship without contact tracing. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
They say the risk to the average person in the U.S. is close to nil. Family members and former colleagues remembered slain Chicago police officer John Bartholomew during his funeral service. Jeff Buckholtz has the story.
We pray for the repose of the soul of the servant of God, John.
Mourners gathered for the funeral at St. Andrew's Greek Orthodox Church in Edgewater, where Officer Bartholomew was an altar boy and where his grandfather was a priest. Those mourners included elected leaders from the city and county paying tribute to the officer killed in last month's shooting at Swedish Hospital. Police Superintendent Larry Snelling's eulogy included a message to the officer's family.
Your hero gave his life doing work that others run from.
Albany Park District Commander Jesse Alvarez said Officer Bartholomew's energy lifted everyone around him.
We carry him with us every time we face the unknown and every time we choose courage over comfort.
And his brother James paid tribute to the man he called his best friend.
He'd tell you he was thankful that God granted him another day of life.
This is the 1-year anniversary of the first American Pope. Here's KMOX religion editor Fred Bottomer.
It was a surprise conclave outcome, coming after just 2 days of deliberations. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost elected by his fellow cardinals to succeed Pope Francis. The Chicago native chose the name Pope Leo XIV. Vatican analyst Marco Politi says Pope Leo has surprised people when speaking out, including the White House.
In the view of President Trump, there are only 4 or 5 big players in the world: Russia, China, Israel, Europe he doesn't like. But he didn't think that also the Pope in Rome can be a big player. And this was a surprise, especially for Trump.
Pope Leo says despite his well-publicized exchange of words with President Trump, he doesn't see his role as political, but says he will continue to speak up to world leaders when needed. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
With gas prices so high, thieves in Colorado are drilling holes in gas tanks and stealing it.
Joanne Taylor of Englewood just wanted to drive to the grocery store.
I walk around my truck and I see a pile of fluid basically underneath the truck, and I was like, smells like gas.
Thieves had drilled 2 holes in her gas tank and stole all 22 gallons inside. Local mechanic Jason Colson says it's happened to other SUV owners.
SUVs with higher ground clearance so that obviously this person can get the drill underneath the car.
Victims have to replace their gas tanks.
Cost me almost $2,000. I just picked it up yesterday.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And the New York Liberty, the favorite to win the WNBA title as the league tips off its 30th season. Big-name college women's players and 3 new teams this year led to a significant jump in pay. The average salary now up to $500,000. A star in college, Caitlin Clark, is back healthy for the Indiana Fever after injuries plagued her last season.
There's going to be some tough games this year. It's, unrealistic to expect myself to perform for 44 games. There's going to be some games where you just don't make shots, and just reminding myself of that.
Last year's title winners, the Las Vegas Aces, are going for a 4th in 5 seasons. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, for tonight, showers and a few storms. They should be non-severe, though, says Dave Murray, with a low of 53 degrees. For tomorrow, sunshine, high of 80. Right now, clouds and 69 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Why would life-saving care require a membership? In a real emergency, are you reaching for your wallet or your phone to call 911? And what if the member helicopter isn't the closest one? What if they don't carry blood on board? What if those differences matter? They do. Arch Air Medical Service is proud to serve Effingham and surrounding communities with life-saving air medical care. Our highly trained crews deliver advanced medicine in the air because when seconds count, capability matters more than a card in your wallet. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. Worried about cost? Here's the truth. The No Surprises Act protects patients with private insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You'll only pay your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. If you have Medicare or Medicaid, similar protections apply. Providers cannot bill beyond those limits. That means no air medical membership is needed. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Hey, Bernie Miklasz here. I'm always pleased to talk to you about Saliga Heating and Cooling, a wonderful, wonderful St. Louis family-owned business for the last 100 years. In fact, they're still down there, the Saliga family, Dan Saliga, fourth-generation owner-operator, still down there in the same building where it all started, down there on Gravois in South City. And they've been taking care of other families, the Saliga family, for 100 years, which is just remarkable if you think about it. But it also tells you how great they are because they just keep adding more and more families like the Miklas's who call them for help when there's something's wrong with the heating and cooling system or some other things go wrong. In our experience, I can only share, we have vast experience with them over the last 17, 18 years or so. And gosh, they come to your home. They're reliable. They're dependable. They're knowledgeable. They're trustworthy. They don't try to hustle you, talk you into something, try to upsell you, try to get a bigger bill that they can charge you for. They're the exact opposite of that because they want your money. They want your money in terms of making sure that you're going to continue to call them and rely on them. So they don't want to try to put their hands in your money. They want you to save money so you'll be happy and you'll call them again. It's a pretty simple theory, but they've pulled it off very, very well. So if you want to find out about this great business and if you want to find out about how great they really are at Saliga Heating and Cooling, what you should do is just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. You'll see the phone number there and all the services there. SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Bernie Miklasz on KMOX is sponsored by Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience, while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident The work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Looking for a career change? Well, the Gelman team with eXp Realty is hiring. Their unmatched blueprint to success, real support, and proven systems help agents take their business to the next level. Level up your future and earning potential. Take the first step at thegelmanteam.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we still have a jam out west on eastbound Highway 70 if you're coming in from Wright City into Forestville. Looks like they are still working to clear that crash at David Holcomb Parkway. I think they got it cleared. It was in the right lane, but still a pretty big backup. It's getting better. Same thing on westbound 70. We had that crash between Bryan Road and Lake St. Louis Boulevard that was in the left lane that cleared it to the right shoulder. Traffic still jammed west of K through the boulevard westbound as well. Westbound Highway 64, you've still got some heavy traffic. Well, there's a little backup west of Winghaven briefly, but then slow 364 out to 70. The ramps from 64 on to North 270 still backed up. South 170 bogs down at Brentwood. Eastbound 64, 170 into Big Bend's kind of slow. And on the Illinois side, eastbound 64 is still a little busy. 255 to 157 and westbound west of 50 bit heavy through 159. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
It's 5:40 in Mid-America. This time check being brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, it's Turnstile Friday on Redbird Rush Hour. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you, talking cards until the top of the hour. Then we got Sports Open Line. What do you got tonight, Matt?
We'll just kind of a lot of baseball.
More baseball?
Yeah, a lot of baseball.
So, this is still the pre-game show because we got this, and then Sports Open Line is the pre-game.
Right.
And then you got the pre-game, and then the game, and the post-game, and then the post-game.
Yep. We got off the air. Kyle, what time did we wrap up post-game last night?
It was like 12:30.
Yeah.
Okay, we were on until 12:30 in the morning last night.
So tonight probably midnight because it starts a little earlier. It starts a half an hour
last
earlier.
night's game moved.
Yeah, it was a quick one.
So who knows what happens
All
tonight.
right. Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank
we got
you.
all baseball for you here on KMOX tonight.
I surprised myself because I actually made it all the way through without falling asleep.
Nice.
Now, the bad news, as I just texted you guys, I'm having a really tough time this evening. Because I never really went to sleep. I mean, I guess I took a nap and I got up at 4:30 and I am wiped out. It's been the old Bernie can't go all day long on like 2 days, 2 hours sleep. I'm a mess. So anyway, thank you for putting up with me.
Awesome. Well, we're not putting up with anything. We're having a good time is what we're doing.
Right.
Let's talk a bit about offense going into tonight because, again, we've had the top of the order really, for the most part, carrying it, which is not unusual in Major League Baseball. But you're also getting the occasional contribution from the guys that are hitting after that. And really, since guys, the first 3 weeks, Mason Wynn's been much better.
Yeah.
He's been good now for a month, I think. We're pretty close to it. Paez has his moments where he's going to provide some power. Nathan Church has been a real addition. Do you guys think, like I do, that this offense might be better in a month and a half than it has been so far? And I think it's been pretty good so far.
Go ahead, Matt.
I think it's been pretty good. I think there's more in the tank for like a Nathan Church. I'm excited to see what's going to continue to happen with him. I am very curious to see if the dynamic of the offense changes at all once Lars Nootbaar gets here. I actually think there's a little more you can see from J.J. Weatherholt, but we're not going to see more from Jordan Walker. We'll see more from Ivan Herrera. That's the guy.
Yeah.
That if you want to make your argument, Kevin, that you're going to see more from the offense, it's that Ivan Herrera is going to start hitting more home runs and driving in more runs, and that's the easy one. So kind of as I go through it, probably a little bit more, and forget everything I said at the beginning. It's all Ivan Herrera.
No, Herrera's a great call because he's doing everything very well, except he's one of the few Cardinals that doesn't have the launch angle sweet spot stuff going.
Right.
He just can't get the right stroke, I should say, where bat meets ball. It's just his angles are way off, and I tell you what, if he can tweak it to the point where he starts to get the proper and the better launch angle, watch out, because he'll go on. He'll be cranking home runs left and right. My concern is the top four of the lineup, which Ali Marmol is sticking with, obviously. I was looking at this today. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, the Cardinals 1, 2, 3, 4 compared to the other 29 teams. This is the fifth best, number 5 best 1, 2, 3, 4 in the majors. They're about 27% above league average. There's a big fall off from 5 through 9, a big fall off. 5 through 9, if you go by weighted runs created plus, 17% below league average offensively. One of the reasons is of course, I'm not trying to pile on. It is what it is. Victor Scott kills the offense, basically. I mean, he just does. And he's not even stealing bases anymore. He got thrown out again. So I don't know what the answer is there. I think Mason Wynn can come up with more.
Yeah.
I think Nathan Church, if he's more consistent, that'll be a plus. I'm still holding hope that Gorman will just continue to jump in there and contribute a big home run, some RBIs. I think he can do better. I'm not predicting greatness, but I think he can do better. And I kind of like his at-bats in a lot of games. And like last night, 3 strikeouts, but the final at-bat was terrific. So I haven't given up on him entirely, but the 5 through 9 is kind of hurting him right now.
Let's talk a little bit more about Gorman in the next segment because, Bernie, you had a split today that caught me by surprise because I wouldn't have expected. Actually, I saw this split put somewhere else. It actually wasn't yours.
Yeah.
But like Gorman's numbers, and this is what we'll get into next, is Gorman's numbers when he plays the field versus when he DHs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a stark difference. And, of course, he's DHing tonight, so Cesar Prieto plays third base. We'll talk a little bit more about that and whether or not you even need to consider that. Maybe it's too early to be a fluke. We'll touch on that next up here on Redbird Rush Hour.
Hey, it's Matt and Leslie Holiday. When we got to St. Louis, it wasn't long before we started searching for a way to give back.
We visited Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and we knew this is where we belonged.
Homers for Health has been going strong for 15 years and has made such an unbelievable impact on the hospital. I've won a World Series, but I consider the work we have done at Cardinal Glennon to be the greatest achievement.
Yes, your support truly makes a difference. Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Is life insurance on your list of New Year's resolutions? Now is the perfect time to add it. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com. For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
The summer heat and humidity will be here soon. Is your air conditioner ready? This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your cooling system hasn't been checked to be ready for the warm weather, call Air Comfort Service. AC checks keep your equipment operating at maximum efficiency, prevent repairs, and extend the life of your equipment. For every AC clean and check booked in April, we'll donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs. Stay in your comfort zone with a cooling system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Well, Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, but they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. So get in, get answers, and get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we still got delays on Highway 70. I mentioned earlier we had that crash westbound 70 near Lake St. Louis Boulevard. It was in the left lane. They cleared it to the right shoulder. Well, now they have the right lane blocked for it. So westbound 70 delays from Highway K, jam from Bryan Road through Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Then it's opening up. Eastbound 70, they cleared that crash at David Hokel Parkway. Traffic slow. East to right city to Forest L, and then approaching Wentzville Parkway after that. Westbound 64 looks good coming out of downtown. You do have slow traffic, though, from 364 out to 70. Eastbound 64 backed up 170 to Big Bend. South 170 backs up south of Brentwood Boulevard. And westbound 64 on the Illinois side just a little slow through 159. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
From S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L, 544-3600.
Now, back to the Redbird Rush Hour on KMOX.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
All right, we just have a few minutes left here. Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We left off talking about Nolan Gorman, and I saw a split today. I saw it on Twitter. Tipped my cap to my buddy BK, who put this out there. I hadn't noticed it and didn't look it up, but it's interesting given that the lineup tonight has Nolan Gorman at DH and Cesar Prieto's getting the start at third base. And for the record, I don't have a problem with Prieto getting a start or Fermin or Urias or any of those things. I just feel like it's interesting that we continue to seem to want to take Gorman off the position, even though he's playing really well defensively there. And then you look at this split. When he plays third base, Nolan Gorman has an 820 OPS, 266 batting average, which is like winning a batting title for him. And he's like 30% over the league average. When he DHs, he's a 154 hitter with a 179 slug, and he's 80% below league average. And he's got, basically, guys, 40% of his at-bats at DH this year. Is that something we should worry about, or is it too small a sample and we just let it play out? It'll be fine.
I hate to be that guy, but this is kind of an old stat that I've been tracking on Gorman for a long time. I don't mind somebody else borrowing it, but something really needs to be pointed out before we take it seriously. We should take it seriously because last year it was the exact opposite.
Was it?
His numbers at DH were fantastic.
Okay.
And his numbers when he played the field, not so much. So now it's in reverse. So why in the world, if you know that as I do, why in the world would you take that seriously?
Yeah. And for his career, it's almost even.
Yeah.
When you look at second base versus DH, but third base, he just doesn't have as many games at third, so it's a little bit less.
I think there's a little bit of a difference, and the difference is he didn't have a position before. So when he was a DH, that was essentially his position, kind of.
He played a lot of second.
He played a lot of second.
Yeah.
Third base is his position, and he's being taken off of that. I've been watching the Cardinals for the last couple of years. It's been since Albert Pujols was the full-time DH that they've gotten real production out of their DH spot.
Yeah.
And I've said this a million times. I get frustrated with the idea that, we're going to put this guy DH, and it's the opportunity to get him off his feet, so it's like a day off.
Yeah,
and,
right,
I don't think that works. I don't think you get production from your DH when you have that attitude about it.
And the Cardinals, listen, I think Herrera, when he DHs this year, his numbers are good.
Yeah.
But Herrera has got a career thing gone that, up until this year, and it still applies this year because his numbers when he catches are better offensively. I don't know why, but he's had that thing where behind the plate, his numbers are really outstanding, much more so than when he DHs, although the gap this year isn't that large. So I can't figure this out, but I would like Gorman to play third base, not because of some junk stat, but because what's the point if the guy is A, playing really good defense, and B, seems to be happy when he's doing it because he hits well there. So why mess with something that's working? And like, for example, why can't Prieto DH? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
They're both left-handed hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you taking Gorman off third base? It does. It's just too much switching around with no real purpose. I don't like that.
Yep.
I don't.
I'm with you on that, and I appreciate the perspective on the longer-term picture. That's good stuff. All right, Bernie, Matt, you guys have great weekends. It's been a blast again. We got a lot of great baseball this weekend, and we'll look forward to catching up on Monday, although you guys will be doing that without me on Monday because I'll be out celebrating my kid's birthday on Monday night.
Oh.
So, good to get a chance to do that. So you guys have a great night. Matt, have fun tonight on Sports Open Line, and we'll have more Cardinals baseball coming your way tonight here on KMOX.
Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. This season, we're continuing a limited spring opportunity, offering select enhancements designed to elevate your home and your experience. From a finished basement recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades, or flexible options like design credits or closing cost savings. These offers are available in select communities for a limited time. Visit lombardohomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Your St. Louis Battlehawks are back at home Friday, May 8th at 7 p.m. taking on the Columbus Aviators. It's Friday Night Lights, and we're calling all high school and college students and teachers. Be one of the first 10,000 fans and score an exclusive Ricky Prohl bobblehead, courtesy of Kia. Bring the energy. Own the night. Grab your tickets now and pack the stands, because when the Battlehawks rise, St. Louis flies. Tickets at UFLBattlehawks.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, just a moment ago, they reopened the right lane from that earlier crash, westbound 70 at Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Traffic still bumper to bumper at Bryan Road, but it ought to thin out pretty quickly. Eastbound 70, you've got slow traffic from David Hochul Parkway into Wentzville Parkway due to earlier problems. Westbound 64, that's still slow from 364 out to Highway 70. Eastbound 64, still heavy from 170 to Big Bend. South 170 is a little slow ramping on to eastbound 64 at that point. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Experts and sci-fi fans are combing through the Pentagon's first release of files from decades ago about reports of UFOs. CBS's Allison Keyes with more.
Space, the final frontier.
Anyone who grew up watching Captain James T. Kirk on Star Trek is probably thinking already, aha! There are reports of bright orbs, some doing corkscrews on one brightly lit linear object in the sky. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb says,
we need to figure out whether these are natural phenomena
or
perhaps some very advanced technologies that we are not aware of.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Virginia's highest court strikes down a Democratic redistricting plan approved by voters in a state referendum. The court ruled that the Democratic majority in the state legislature violated procedural requirements. CBS's Finn Gomez asked Kyle Kondik of the University of Virginia Center for Politics how today's decision impacts the November election nationwide.
Kyle is one of the sharpest map watchers in the game. Factoring in Virginia, plus the new Tennessee and Florida maps, he now has at least 211 seats that lean Republican, 208 that lean Democratic, 16 true toss-ups on the midterm map.
Tensions are high in the Strait of Hormuz as the U.S. and Iran continue to exchange fire, as negotiations to permanently end the fighting are on hold while Iran considers the latest U.S. proposal. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi reports.
Friday, the U.S. Navy disabled 2 more Iranian tankers that the military says was trying to run its blockade. CENTCOM says an F-18 fired into the smokestacks of the ships, disabling them and keeping them from entering Iran. More than 50 ships have been stopped from entering or leaving Iran as a part of the blockade. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. is preparing to evacuate Americans from the cruise ship struck with hantavirus, killing 3 people. It's due in the Canary Islands early Sunday. The Americans will be taken to the University of Nebraska Medical Center, which has a special biocontainment unit. Dr. Angela Hewlett is the medical director.
I want to make that very clear that these are individuals that were on this ship, but they have been potentially exposed but not known to be infected with hantavirus.
A cyber attack disrupted thousands of schools nationwide as students crammed for finals, knocking out a system called Canvas. CBS LA's Tina Patel.
Hackers calling themselves Shiny Hunters said they had hacked into Instructure. That's the tech company that operates Canvas. The hackers said they had student and faculty information like names, email addresses, ID numbers, and private.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROMO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At 6:04, cloudy sky. Right now, 68 degrees downtown at the Arch. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is demolishing a building in Hazelwood after radioactive waste was found in the ground beneath it.
This clubhouse has been on our radar for over 13 years.
The former clubhouse at the closed French Quarter Apartments has to come down so crews can safely clean up the contamination. Neighborhood advocate Dawn Chapman questions.
How in the world is it that this was contaminated and then this entire area built on top of it? Why was the contamination not found decades ago when they knew it was leaking into the creek?
Chapman tells KMOX countless families over the years lived at the apartment complex. She's concerned some may have moved on after a short time and may have gotten sick later while not being aware of the area's radioactive history. Road closures might affect your commute along I-70 next week.
Well, starting Monday, we're going to have intermittent closures of westbound Highway 70 in Wentzville. It's going to happen westbound 70 at Highway Z for up to 15 minutes at a time, 3 times a day between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. for the next 3 weeks. And the exit ramp from westbound 70 to Z will also be closed during that time for rock excavation work alongside the highway as part of the Improve I-70 project. Roger Brand, KMOX News.
A town in North St. Louis County sees its biggest trash cleanup effort yet. Illegal dumping is a long-standing issue in Kinloch, which has seen several cleanup efforts. The latest boost comes from Boeing, which has an office on the Kinloch City line and is donating $1 million. Congressman Wesley Bell.
It reminds me of the number 34. As county prosecutor, we issued 34 counts against one of the biggest trash dumpers in Kinloch. And so I'm really proud of what we're doing, although we know we're not done.
A Teamsters strike at Missouri's largest alcohol distributor could eventually show up at your local bar. Breakthrough Beverage, formerly Major Brands, supplies about 9,000 restaurants, bars, and liquor stores statewide with brands like Jameson, Absolute Vodka, and Yuengling Beer. The company is now responding to the strike, saying negotiations stalled over contract language, asking workers not to honor outside picket lines. Breakthrough says contingency plans are in place to try to keep the deliveries moving. Missouri State climatologist Zach Lesser says April was warm and wet. He says on average temperatures were 7 degrees above normal, and there was a lot of rain, too.
The statewide average rainfall for April was 7.52 inches. That's nearly double what we usually see.
He tells MissouriNet there have been 41 tornadoes so far this year. Typically, May and June are the most active months for severe weather. How active are the roads? Well, let's get you to Roger Brand at the traffic center.
Well, they're looking great now, Michael. I mean, we're pretty much back on track. The only place we have delays is out west, and eastbound 70 is still slow. David Hokel into Wentzville Parkway because of earlier troubles. I mentioned at the top of the hour they cleared that crash westbound 70 near Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Finally, everything's thinned out for you there. Westbound 64, that's still slow from just west of 364 out to 70, and eastbound 64 still just a little slow down at the Interbelt. Otherwise, the rest of these interstates are wide open for you. I'm Roger Brand in the Michael's Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
We have another little front moving down from the north, so periods of showers and a couple of non-severe thunderstorms this evening and overnight. 53 for the low. On Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies, breezy. Saturday looks like a fairly warm afternoon. 80 degrees for the high. Saturday night, clouds take over quickly. Some light showers late night. Very limited. I don't think we see a lot of rain Saturday night. 55. Sunday for Mother's Day, an early morning shower, but very limited. Otherwise, partly sunny and cooler. 68 degrees, so bouncy temperatures over the weekend. Sunday night, partly cloudy and chilly, 45. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We've got a cloudy sky and 68 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Let's get going now.
From KMOX Sports.
We're primed and ready. All day, baby. Man, let's go.
This is the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We move from the Cardinals pregame show to the Cardinals pregame show. It is a Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX. Welcome in. My name is Matt Pauley. I've got you for a while on Sports Open Line. We'll go for about the next hour and a half until we make way for Cardinals baseball. Our pregame coverage is going to start, I believe it's 7:45 tonight. I think that's right. 7:45 or 7:50. Which is it? 7? I should know this. It's 7:45. We're going. Maybe it's 7:50. I think it's 7:50. 7:50. There we go. I know what I'm talking about. We're off to a roaring start here on this edition of a Gray Bar Sports Open Line. I've got you till 7:50 on this. I don't leave the studio. It really doesn't matter what time stuff is happening. It's just people tell me what to do, and I go ahead and do it, and it works out. We hope that it works out as well as possible. Jam-packed show tonight in our somewhat abbreviated edition of the program. We'll lose about 15 minutes off the back end, but Sam Levitt's going to join us. Sam Levitt is the radio host, kind of does what I do for Padres Radio, so he's going to join us in about 10 minutes or so. Our weekly conversation. It's weekly when we have the availability. Luckily, Cardinals are playing West Coast games this week, so we've got more sports open lines for you. Jen Cease is going to be with us about 6:35. We'll talk through City SC with her. Next hour, our friend Brian Walton from the Cardinal Nation will join us, and then Kevin Ryans from Channel 2 and Channel 11. He is going to join us coming up at about 7:20, and then by the time we're done with that, it's going to be just about time for Cardinals baseball. We've talked about, I feel like I've just been, because I did Gas House Gang today, so I feel like it's just rinse and repeat, saying the same sort of stuff over and over and over, but I will repeat the fact that I thought last night was a really good victory for the Cardinals. Really good win. Matthew Liberatore pitched well. The pitch mix, I thought it was interesting that Kevin and I yesterday on Redbird Rush Hour were spending so much time talking about the pitch mix of Matthew Liberatore. And then in yesterday's game, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really, really good. Some of what we were hoping that he would do a little bit more of, he did just that. The curveball was on point. First time I feel like I've been able to say that all year long. I'd have to go through his game logs and his pitch, the data on all the pitches. But last night was the first time I really felt good about his curveball. I think that was a difference-making pitch in the game last night, and that's a pitch that historically has been good for Matthew Liberatore, and it feels like if he's going to get to the point where you really want him to be at, that's going to be a big part of it. I know it was a somewhat quiet night offensively for the Cardinals in the sense that they only scored the 2 runs on 5 hits, but as that game went along, Kyle, let me ask you this, because maybe I'm just a little bit crazy, 2 runs on 5 hits. There have been many times where the Cardinals have a 2-run on 5-hit night, and I'm lamenting the fact that it wasn't a very good offensive night. Maybe that's when they lose, and when they win, I spin it in a way that makes it look better, almost unintentionally, and I'm not trying to do that, but I don't know. I watched that game last night, and I liked the approach offensively. I don't think there was a bad offensive night, even though it was 2 runs on 5 hits.
Yeah, I think a win changes everything, right? And it's also, it needs to be said, Michael King was nasty last night. All the pitches were working for him. You did what you needed to do against a great pitcher in Michael King, and it resulted in a win. I agree.
The home run he gave up was the first home run he'd given up this year on his changeup, and his changeup is awesome. And then Rodriguez comes into the game. I think was it the hit that he gave up on his changeup was his first hit given up on a changeup this year?
Might have been.
I think that's right. If it's not that, it's something in that neighborhood. So that tells you that the Cardinals were on those pitches, and the King home run that Alec Burleson hit, it was a poorly placed pitch. That was the problem with it. I mean, it's a really good changeup, but he put it in a bad spot. It's for the Cardinals to be good, they have to hit mistakes. And we can say that about just about any team in baseball. You score runs by hitting mistakes. That's how it works. Get a good pitch to hit. That's the first rule of having success at the plate. Get a good pitch to hit. And if you're getting a good pitch to hit, that means you're getting a mistake. And Michael King threw the mistake to Alec Burleson, and he hits the home run. Now, and Jordan Walker had a really nice night last night. In one of his at-bats that did not result in a hit, I remember watching, and it was like 92 middle, and he fouled it off. And I'm like, that's the pitch he's got to turn on. That's the pitch he can't miss on. And he's missing on that pitch less often than he has previously. Again, I'm not like taking aim at Jordan Walker because he arguably had the best offensive night of anybody last night, going 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. But he's the perfect example of the way he's going to have success is making sure that when there is a pitch to hit, not only does he hit it, he hits the living you-know-what out of it. And we've seen that more often than not this year from Walker.
We definitely have. I actually thought Walker was seeing it really well last night. You had that fly out that he had to right, and he stayed on the slider from King, which is a nasty pitch because he comes cross-body and everything that Michael King does that makes him great. Walker stayed on that slider and just got under one and flew out to deep right, where that was a great swing that he put on a tough pitch. So I thought Walker looked great last night. The
adjustments he's made since he went into that kind of lull have been really good, and the overall numbers now for Walker they're fine. I know he's not hitting as many home runs. I was about to say I don't care. I care. I don't care that much when he's doing everything else. He had the 2 doubles yesterday. I mean, he's still got a 970 OPS. He's hitting 309, so he's hitting for average. He's hitting for power. He's driving in runs. He's got 27 RBI, so he's on about a 100 RBI pace right now. He's still on a 30-plus home run pace. So he's doing everything that you want him to do. I don't know if he's going to be a 30 home run guy. I'm not overly worried about it. If he's a 25 home run guy to go along with 85, 90 RBIs and his OPS is above 850, I'll take it. I think that's a fantastic year. That's kind of the pace that Alec Burleson is on. I was looking at his overall numbers yesterday, and he's got an 811 OPS. Anything plus 800 is really, that's borderline all-star. So Burleson is putting up really good numbers. His home run totals, he's on pace for about 25 home runs, which they have 18 last year? Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he had 18 last year. His career high was 21 in 2024. So if he adds 4 or 5 home runs, if he's inching past 25 and in the neighborhood of 30, and if he can somehow keep that OPS above 800, when the season got started, I was mildly worried about his offensive production at first base compared to his offensive production in a corner outfield spot or as a guy who jumps around a little bit. I'll take his offensive production as a first baseman right now without a problem.
Absolutely. The only thing that's been a little odd for Burleson for me has been how streaky he's been. He's gone on these 0 for 15s, and then he's red hot.
Yeah.
And then he'll go on a long 0 for again. That's not really the Burleson that we have seen in years past. He's more of a consistent type of guy. So it's been interesting the way he's done it, but I do think the numbers look great at the end of the day.
When he goes on those offers, it's not fluky offers either. It's not like he hits the ball hard but right at somebody. He just all of a sudden looks terrible at the plate.
It was a couple games ago where he had 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches.
Yeah, and then the next at-bat was a first pitch out.
Right.
So he had 10 pitches and 4 at-bats, 0 for 4. I think he finally drew a few pitches. That was that Champions Club game. So that would have been Monday, I believe.
I think so. And that's right after he's named NL Player of the Week.
That day he was named the NL Player of the Week. So, again, we got a lot coming up on the program today. Up next, Sam Levitt does Padres pre-post on their radio broadcast. He joins us coming up after this here on KMOX.
Here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your St. Louis Battlehawks are back at home Friday, May 8th at 7 p.m., taking on the Columbus Aviators. It's Friday Night Lights, and we're calling all high school and college students and teachers. Be one of the first 10,000 fans and score an exclusive Ricky Prohl bobblehead, courtesy of Kia. Bring the energy. Own the night. Grab your tickets now and pack the stands, because when the Battlehawks rise, St. Louis flies. Tickets at UFLBattlehawks.com.
Bringing a data center online takes more than equipment. It takes precision. Graybar helps customers predict, stage, schedule, deliver, and verify every step of the build with critical products that are available now. From networking and wireless to critical power and testing tools, our teams help you reduce downtime risk and keep projects on track. Speed, scale, ready now. Yep, Graybar does that.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Well, Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, but they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. So get in, get answers, and get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
It's a Graybar Sports Open Line right here on KMOX. Great to have you with us tonight. Cardinals and Padres playing game 2 of a 4-game series this evening. After yesterday, the Cardinals came away with a 2-1 victory in what was a really well-played game, an entertaining game. Very happy right now to welcome back on to the show. It's our friend Sam Levitt. He is the pre- and post-game show host on Padres Radio, and he joins us right now via the Quiver River Electric guest line. Sam, always appreciate you taking a few moments with us. How are you?
Hey, Matt, doing well. Sun shining as usual here in San Diego and getting ready for a ball game, so couldn't be much better.
Yeah, I know you didn't enjoy it probably as much as I did because the Cardinals ended up winning last night, but that was a fun game, some really good pitching on both sides, some big hits. I thought that was just a really well-played game last night.
Yeah, I agree with you. Really well played. I always love a low-scoring game with some good pitching between two good teams, and it felt like that last night with the way Michael King and Matthew Liberatore pitched for both team and, quite frankly, the bullpens as well. So hopefully more good baseball in store. And here in San Diego, I'm sure they're hoping for a different result.
Yeah, and I know for Padres fans, the biggest question that continues to be asked is when are you going to see both Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado start to come around. For Tatis, he's hitting the ball hard, but he's not hitting home runs. Machado, some of the numbers, even the underlying numbers, don't look great. How do you evaluate the slow starts that both those guys are off to?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting start for this team, Matt, because on one hand, they're sitting at 22-15 to begin the season. They're off to a nice start. They're right in the mix as far as the National League West, and they entered today only a game behind the LA Dodgers. But with that said, offensively as a collective, and especially for the big-time players in this lineup, it's been a slow start. And you can look at really any of them, including Manny and Fernando. I'll split them up a little bit. Manny's been up and down. And, you know, Matt, we've seen with Manny Machado, we've seen him get off the slow starts before and then get scorching hot for weeks, months at a time. And he's one of those guys that is probably going to be in Cooperstown one day. And one way or another, he always seems to get to his numbers. So I don't think there's a ton of concern about Manny and the idea that he will ultimately get going. With Fernando, it's been perplexing. I mean, he's hitting the ball hard as he always does. He's not pulling the ball in the air to left field, which has really been the issue. And look, bottom line, it's May 8th, and he doesn't have a home run yet. And, you know, it doesn't feel like he's getting particularly close either, which is just weird to say for somebody of Fernando's caliber. So it's a major storyline right now, and there's no doubt that getting those two guys going and really starting to fire on all cylinders, that's a big key to this team's success over the course of 162. So it may not have shown itself yet in the wins and losses because they're off to a good start as a team, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But I think undoubtedly over the course of a long season, they're going to need those guys to be the all-star type players that they are.
On the TV broadcast last night on ESPN, they had an interesting conversation about Tatis, and they threw out the idea that because he's not as open as much on his stance, he's closed up a little bit, and there's a thought that maybe he's sacrificed some power to have better coverage to all fields. Is that something he's talked about? Is that something he was working on, or is that not really something that's maybe happening?
Yeah, I think, you know, look, I don't try to be the hitting guru. You know, it's not my area of expertise. I do try to watch the games and make observations. All I can say is that from my perspective, it's clear that he's just struggling to get the ball in the air and pull the ball in the air more specifically. And look, there's a lot of theories out there as to, you know, kind of why mechanically that is. You could certainly sell me on that there are mechanics in his swing that are not allowing him to do that. To me, that makes sense. You know, he was out on the field yesterday pregame, you know, really early, working on a lot for a long time with Manny Machado and Steven Souza Jr., the Padres hitting coach. So they're working. There's no doubt they're putting in work to figure out what's going on and get that power back. But honestly, Matt, you could sell me on anything that mechanically is not going right, because it just doesn't make sense on the quality of his contact as far as the exit velo. So look, one way or another, I'm sure he will figure it out at some point. But yeah, you could definitely sell me on that it's mechanical, and you know that something he's doing is not allowing him to pull the ball in the air. So yes, I don't know the exact issue, but the idea that it is something mechanically or with his stance or his setup or whatever it might be certainly would seem to make sense. I would agree with that.
Griffin Canning's going to be on the mound tonight, coming back from a torn left Achilles. This is going to be just his second start of the year. That's a pretty quick return from that injury, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? Griffin, you know, worked really hard to come back from that injury. The Padres signed him in the offseason knowing full well that he would probably miss the first month or so. But, you know, to your point, I think he came back a little bit quicker than maybe even we or they anticipated when they signed him, because really at spring training, it sounded like some point in May would be his return, and he returned at the very beginning of May. But I'll tell you what, Matt, he looked terrific his first outing. He looked like the guy that posted a sub-4 ERA and was having a career year with the Mets before that Achilles injury last summer. And he struck out 7, got a lot of swing and miss. I thought he looked very, very sharp considering he hadn't pitched in a major league game in nearly a calendar year. So I'm intrigued by what he'll do tonight. He's facing, obviously, a Cardinals team that's off to a very good start and has been very good offensively on the road, especially as all you know in St. Louis. So it's going to be interesting, but I thought Griffin Canning, his first outing as a Padre, was really, really good and got a lot of swing and miss, which I think was really encouraging.
I was talking with Kevin Acey from the Union Tribune yesterday, and I asked him a question about Craig Stammen compared to Mike Schilt, and he made the point that Stammen is kind of aggressive in making lineup changes, whereas Schilt might be somebody who just sort of left guys in their spots. Stammen is more, okay, a guy is slumping or the team is slumping. Let's move things around. Have you enjoyed kind of watching his process? Because obviously he's going through the numbers, he's thinking through things. There's a lot of, cognitive thought that goes along with the lineup that he's putting out on an everyday basis.
Yeah, it's a totally different philosophy from Mike Schultz. And I do want to be clear when I say that, that's not a knock on Mike Schultz. I mean, Mike managed two teams that won 90-plus games here and went to the postseason 2 years in a row. But it is a different philosophy. Mike was very, very much somebody who kept the lineup very similar, especially his star players, and there was a consistency to it really no matter what. Even as it felt like the outside was calling for some mixing it up a little bit, even as far as batting order itself, not personnel, but just batting order. And Mike kind of stuck to that lineup, and it was that lineup day after day the whole year. Craig has had a completely different approach to it. I mean, when it's not working and the Padres are slumping collectively and they're not generating offense, he is not shy to mix it up at all. And that's been consistent from the first week of the season. You'll even see it a little bit today. I mean, he moved Xander Bogaerts up to the number 2 spot today. And I asked him about it before the game. And, essentially it's, hey, we didn't hit yesterday and we're not, when the offense is slumping a little bit, I'm gonna mix it up. And Xander's been a guy who has been off to a great start this year, and you move him up in the lineup. And I mean, some of the moves have been drastic. I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting 5th, and that started a handful of days ago. It's the lowest he's batted in the order since his rookie season in 2019. So he will mix it up. He's not afraid to roll out a different looking lineup just for the sake of trying something different. And I think it's been fascinating so far. I think the record shows that it's worked so far as the wins and losses. And, I kind of appreciate the different strategy from what we saw the last couple of years, certainly.
Final question for you, and it's a little bit of a different route to go down. But I was just thinking about last night, a Thursday night, capacity 45,000 people going crazy. It's a school night. Like, what's the secret sauce that the Padres have right now that's really resulted in just this unreal support and these crowds that are coming out no matter what?
Yeah, well, I think just to acknowledge the question first and the point you make in the question, you're absolutely right, Matt. I mean, I'm super fortunate. This is my 5th season in San Diego. I know nothing else. This is what I know. The ballpark being full every single night. If it's not sold out here, it is very, very close. And that is quite literally every single game, no matter the month or the day of the week, or if school's in or if school's out. It's remarkably impressive what's been built here from the fan base standpoint. And, Matt, I think there's a lot of reasons to it. I do think first and foremost, this is a team and a front office that invested both financially and just the kind of players they brought in, the fact that they do have, star players that have been here a long time and I think fans identify with and like and, walk in wearing their jersey. And, when you show up to a Padres game, you're going to see Manny Machado. You're going to see Fernando Tatis Jr. You're going to see Jackson Merrill. You're going to see Xander Bogaerts. And the list goes on and on. They invested. They got, good, and they've been rewarded by the fans totally buying into it. Look, there are other factors that probably play in, the Chargers leaving, the Padres being the only team in town, those kinds of things. And that's probably fair to mention those things too. But I think first and foremost, it is the investment of the organization, the willingness to put a good star-filled team on the field. And to their credit, the fans have responded to it in the way they continue to show up. And that's now going back, 5-6 years at this point. And it's created a pretty special atmosphere and thing in this city as far as Padres fever in San Diego. Everybody loves this team. They care. Makes my job fun. So I think the investment is the thing, and getting this caliber of player here for a long time and so many kind of long-time faces of the team. And obviously the fact that they go to the postseason a lot and they've been good. And I think all those things together, but I think the investment is really kind of what set the course. And they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Sam Levitt, he is the Padres radio host on Padres Radio and 97.3, The Fan in San Diego. Sam, always appreciate our time. I'm sure we'll talk again when the Cardinals and Padres play again, but thank you as always for taking the time with us.
All right, Matt. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right, very good. Sam Levitt joining us. Follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Sammy Lev, SAMMYLEV. Find him on TikTok. Find him on Instagram. He does awesome work with his social media. Over 2 million followers between TikTok and Instagram. He's awesome with the socials and a really good follow. Whether you care about the Padres or not, really, really good follow when it comes to everything, all the content that he is able to produce. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little City SC soccer as our good friend Jen Cease is going to be with us to talk through where the team is at right now. That's up next as we roll on with the Gray Bar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
Summer's here. Is your backyard ready? If you missed the spring rush, Artistic Decks can still make it happen. From premium wood to maintenance-free composite, get the quality you deserve. Don't wait. Call Artistic Decks today at 314-280-0821.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
I never have to worry about the internet in my home because I've got i3 broadband, and I think you would love it if you had i3 broadband as well. I always say this, like they are truly the only internet service provider that I've truly been like passionate about. That I want to tell everybody out there, hey, you need to make the switch. So, yeah, I know you're not happy with your internet because nobody unless you're an i3 customer is happy with their internet because internet tends to be slower than you want it to be. Not at i3. 1 gig, 2 gig, 8 gig packages. They always mirror their upload and download speeds. You never have to worry about speed. How about reliability? You go to other service providers, the internet just drops out of nowhere for no reason, and you're playing that game. Is this like an actual thing where I need to reset my router? Is it going to come back in a minute or so? What do I do? I'm totally stopped. I'm trying to watch this show on Netflix, and I can't do it because my internet's down, and I don't know what to do. You don't have to worry about that with i3 broadband. And then the pricing is fantastic. When I pay my bill every month, I never feel uncomfortable with the amount of money that I am paying for i3 broadband. I was a customer way before I was talking about them on the radio. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com/radio. i3broadband.com/radio. Right when you go to that website, you see where you put your address in, see if they're available. If they're not, keep trying. They're always adding new neighborhoods throughout the St. Louis area as a wonderful growing company. i3broadband.com/radio.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons?
Yep.
Decorations?
Yes.
Streamers, cups, table covers?
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy 2 get 1 free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best parties start at Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In store or buy online. Pickup in-store only.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask DeWitt Insurance in the St. Louis area if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new home, and the Reserve at Wildwood is where you want to be. Park-like setting with front porches on every home, connected trails for exploring, walk to Main Street and Wildwood Town Center, top-rated Rockwood schools, and legendary McKelvey quality you can count on, featuring James Hardy siding. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and learn what makes the Reserve so special. It's time to move up to McKelvey.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It's a Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX. My name's Matt Pauley. Great to have you with us. We're a little bit more than an hour out from our coverage of Cardinals baseball. They play game 2 of their series against the Padres tonight. This past weekend, City SC, they struggled against Austin as they could not get on the board. They lose by a 2-0 score. They're going to be out of Colorado this weekend to take on the Rapids. That's going to be a Saturday night game tomorrow night, and you're going to be able to hear it on our sister station, Y98. A big part of those Y98 broadcasts is our good friend Jen Cease, and she joins us right now. Hey, Jen, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Matt? I'm actually getting ready to go to a soccer game this evening.
Shocker.
Surprise.
Shocker. And it should be noted, like people who listened this morning probably heard the reports that you did during Joe Potts Sportscast. I was still up. I get carboned on those emails. It was almost 4 o'clock in the morning when you got those in. So you were working late last night.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's been a busy week, let's just say, and it's for some of it for really good reasons. I wanted to be sure we had good packages, especially for the fact that Edward Leuven spoke to us in the media. So I wanted to make sure those got over to you guys, and I'm glad they did.
I was going to text you when the email came in, but I'm like, texting Jen at 3:30 in the morning, like that's just kind of weird. So I went ahead and did not do that.
I would have been like, hey, what's up?
I was still over an hour from getting to bed myself. So
you're a night owl, too.
I am. Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about the Edward Leuven stuff a little bit because he's been playing here recently, but spoke with the media this past week. And, I mean, we can't even put into words how tough of a situation this has been for him as his wife passed away after a battle with sickness. And what did you take away as he did spend some time really being very vulnerable and kind of talking through this? Nobody should have to talk through that, but he did, and I thought it was very impactful.
Yeah, Adu has had a penchant for doing that, even when she was kind of, it wasn't new for them, but when we all as fans and the media were finding out that there was something going on, he had done this before. So I wasn't surprised that he did it. I am kind of surprised how quickly he did it, given she just passed away in, I think, March it was. So I sat there. I will tell you, I was not the only one with not dry eyes in the room. If anybody says otherwise, they're lying. And it was really incredible for him to just talk about her. He spent a lot of time on, just how much, honestly, that she was supporting him through what was going to be her final days. She's making sure he's okay. And while he's trying to be there for her. And so it was pretty incredible that he did that. Pretty incredible that he's even back on the field at all. I remember when he first, got out there against the Open Cup game in Chicago, and he's amazing, of course. And immediately fans, and I don't blame them. I'm not hating on any fans right now. We're like, more Edward Lubin right now, get him in the starting lineup, full 90 minutes. And I remember going, hold on, everybody. Like, that sounds amazing, but I don't think he's ready yet. And what I got from the press conference is that, yes, he's moving back into the game. He is probably touch and go on minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day. And I think Yohan Demay and Edward Lubin are doing a good job at trying to get him in where it makes sense so that he can be there for the team as close to 100% as he can, but also the team is being respectful of, are you really ready? So I think it's really good. The more of Edward Lubin we can have on the pitch is great, and just be respectful of, is he really ready on any given day?
Yeah, you're almost hopeful that the game can be just a split second here, a split second there of almost normalcy for him, because right now I'm sure there's nothing about his life that's normal.
No, and he actually kind of said that too. He said, I had ended up asking him, and there were great questions in the room. They're all really respectful. He answered all of them. And I remember asking him, what is it that when you're out and about now, he kind of talked about being back in public life. What do you want from fans if, see you in your coffee shop? And he said, just to kind of know that I might not be okay under the surface. I might have a look on my face that looks like I'm not okay, and I am. And I might have a look on my face that looks like I am okay, and I'm not. So, when I see him at training, he always walks by the media and gives us a wave and a smile. And it was a really good reminder to me that, he might not be okay in that moment, but he's there. I think he takes comfort in playing with the guys. The guys are really respectful. I think he finds something out of that. But there is, I don't know if hollow is the right word, but there's just a little bit of a muted, almost like a little bit of a grayscale over his color right now, which is 100% understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. No easy way to just transition into what's going on with the team, but let's do that because they did not score a goal against Austin. That was coming off a U.S. Open Cup performance where they scored 2 and moved on against Chicago. It feels like that we're deep enough in the season now, Jen, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, where the start and stop nature, the sometimes good, sometimes not so good, we can start being maybe a little bit more critical or assessing that in a different way, because I think it's fair to say that was a disappointing performance this past weekend.
100%. Yeah, I think it's fair. I think you're far, we could do that last month and say, hey, give them a few more games. But yeah, you have to start looking at all kinds of questions from, are you really running the right formation? Is this formation successful? And sometimes it's not the formation. Do you have the right roster to run that formation? Remember, 80% of this roster that has been there was not recruited to play the way Yohan Demay wants to play. They were recruited to play the way Bradley Carnell wanted to play. And that is very different. The chaotic, let's just go forward and throw everything at the goal is very different than saying, hey, this opportunity isn't here. Let's bring it back and recycle and find something. It's just a little bit different of a sophisticated soccer. So I think it's fair for that. And of course, I love Marcel Hartl. I love Cello. I love the play that he did. I'm so disappointed at the finish because what he did to pick off that pass was tremendous, the way he read the defender. And I didn't realize Cello was that fast. And he was trucking down the field. Simon Bercher could barely keep up with him, and he didn't even have the ball. And that is just so unlike Marcel to have that heavy of a touch that was, 1, too heavy, so the pace was wrong, and 2, not at the right angle, so the precision was wrong. And then, to be fair, I was at coffee with Mr. Soccer Bill McDermott today, and we were both agreeing on the fact that it was kind of a 2-man mistake. I think you can lay it on Marcel for that wasn't right. And you can also look at Simon and go, a different kind of striker does sometimes find a way to make the impossible possible. And it just didn't. And it just really kind of, I think it really took the wind out of City's sails. And then Austin said, great, we'll take over now. And they went forward and they got that's the first time they've beaten City in their stadium. So they're riding high and City's now got to head to the Mile High City. And I don't believe Yohan Demay. All the coaches always tell me, I always ask the question about altitude. All of them downplay the altitude, but I think it's a thing, and it's a hard thing to play in.
I lived in Colorado for 7 years. Jen, it's a thing.
Me too. true.
Yeah, it's a thing. Now, I do think there is truth to the, like in, sometimes you'll see college basketball teams go in late because there's this feeling that it starts to hit you more second day in than first day in. And I don't know what their travel plans are. I think there is some truth to that, but I know that if I'm going and visiting with my wife, my in-laws in Colorado, that first time that I kind of jog up a set of stairs, I'm breathing hard. It's a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a total thing. And I heard the same thing. Actually, it was from Henry Kessler last year, who's no longer with City. I had asked him about it, and he also quoted some kind of studies about either going with plenty of time, right, to acclimate, or going with the least amount of time possible. I had never heard that before. But I also, when I moved there and thought, hey, I'm 22, I'm out of college, I'm an elite athlete, and I went for my first jog, and I thought I was going to die.
When the NCAA tournament is in there, watch the games on the first day and the second day. Like maybe they play on a Thursday and a Saturday. Thursday, the games will look good. Saturday, those teams are always dragging.
They're sucking wind.
Yeah. It's a big difference. So, it's anybody who tries to downplay it, they're downplaying it to not put it in people's heads, but it's a real thing. Well, Jen, we will be.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, didn't Joel Quenneville, when he was with the Blues, make that a big deal to train there? Like, wasn't there part of some St. Louis other professional sports that either, had oxygen masks, or heard Randy Carricker said somebody slept in a hyperbaric chamber for a week to prepare for something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a reason the Olympic Training Center is there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's real, because you come back from altitude and you've been training there. You feel like you're the greatest athlete in the history of the world. Tell us what's going to be going on with the broadcast coming up tomorrow night on Y98.
Yeah, so given we're Mountain Time, the kickoff is 8:30, so we'll start pregame on Y98 at 8 p.m. and we'll talk to, of course, Coach DeMay, and our player profile is with Lucas McNaughton.
Awesome. Great stuff. Jen, appreciate the time. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, man.
All right, that's Jen Cease. This is a Gray Bar Sports Open Line on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Lombardo Homes is known for quality, luxury, and thoughtful design in some of the area's most desirable communities. This season, we're continuing a limited spring opportunity, offering select enhancements designed to elevate your home and your experience. From a finished basement recreation room to premium kitchen and cabinet upgrades, or flexible options like design credits or closing cost savings. These offers are available in select communities for a limited time. Visit LombardoHomes.com or stop by a sales office today.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KingdomOX.com/events.
Retirement. Exciting in one way, scary in others. How do you find the financial advisor that covers all the bases? Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps, or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Take advantage of our Mother's Day sale, which starts now. It's our best deal of the year. Save up to 60% off. Visit legacybox.com/radio, and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. legacybox.com/radio.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett. I'm a board-certified master arborist, and I've been caring for St. Louis trees for over 25 years. Today, I'm going to help you choose a tree care contractor. Here's how it's done, so pay close attention. First, call everyone you know who has ever done any type of outdoor work, including that cousin that used to sleep on your couch. Leave them all messages and wait around to see if they call back. Here's a hint, they won't. Now, post to all your social media that you are looking for recommendations for a good tree service. Now beware, because there will be hundreds of different recommendations. So you need to carefully go through each one, checking that they have the proper insurance, background checks, and even the slightest idea of what they're doing. Schedule a bunch of appointments, and when nobody shows up, get really frustrated and put the whole project off for another year. Or you could just call Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Back at it as we do continue on, starting to wrap up hour number one of the show, a Friday edition of Sports Open Line. We don't get a lot of Friday editions of the program during the course of the baseball season, but here we are with you tonight, and glad to be able to do so. We're going to be done just a little bit early this evening as the Cardinals match up against the Padres. So we're going to do about 45 minutes in the 7 o'clock hour, and then we will transition over to Cardinals pregame. Again, the pitching matchup tonight, I like it. It's Michael McGreevy's going for the Cardinals. He's been really, really good. 2-2, 2.52 ERA. Griffin Canning making his second start of the year. His first start went pretty well. Comes in with a 1.80 ERA. And you'd really love to see the Cardinals win this one tonight. You play the 4-game series on the road, especially in a different time zone. It feels, I don't know, this is very anecdotal and not backed up by any statistical evidence, but it feels like if you're going to at least split the series, it's good to win the first two. It also puts you in a position where you win the first two, then you can say, well, if you can win just one of the final two, you can take the series. And you want to stack wins early on West Coast road trips as well. Sometimes these road trips can wear on you a little bit. They're about to roll into a minor league ballpark in West Sacramento to take on the A's. You don't know what those games are going to look like. You might be playing a 17-13 game one night, and you're not even sure what just happened. And a pitcher is just, you're going to the bullpen over and over. So stack some wins early, see what you can do, and go from there. But again, Michael McGreevy on the mound tonight as he is looking for his third win. Hour number two of the program, we've got a few things that we've got up our sleeve, so don't go anywhere. We'll continue on in just a few moments. Brian Walton from the Cardinal Nation, Kevin Ryans from Channel 2. They are all going to be with us in hour number two of the program right here on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Fewer people downloaded ChatGPT in April, only the second year-over-year decline for the OpenAI model since 2024. Market intelligence firm Sensor Tower reports an 8% decline in ChatGPT downloads, while the uninstall rate soared nearly 260% higher in the first quarter. Anthropic's Claude, meanwhile, saw a 90% year-over-year increase in uninstalls in April. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son Mike. In addition to the comp case, there is a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Virginia voters recently approved new congressional maps, but the state Supreme Court has struck them down, giving Republicans an edge in a fight over voting lines. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says it's one of several redistricting efforts.
The Virginia decision comes as protests broke out in Louisiana as legislators debated a new map that drops one of the state's 2 majority black districts. And it comes a day after chaos erupted in Tennessee as Republicans voted to eliminate the state's only Democratic House seat. In Alabama, the Republican governor there signed a bill changing that state's map, but only if the Supreme Court grants permission.
Residents of Spain's Canary Islands raise concerns about the ship at the center of the deadly hantavirus outbreak, as it's expected to anchor offshore early Sunday morning. The U.S. government is sending an evacuation flight for 17 Americans on the ship. They'll be taken to the University of Nebraska Medical Center, which has a special biocontainment unit. CBS's Ramy Inocencio also reports
more than 30 passengers from at least 12 countries, including the U.S., left the ship without contact tracing during one of its first port stops.
A lot of great people are studying it. It should be fine. We hope.
On Friday, health officials in New Jersey reported 2 residents were potentially exposed to one of the infected guests during air travel abroad, but are not reporting symptoms.
The Pentagon has started releasing new UFO files, unveiling dozens of photos, videos, and documents. CBS's Carter Evans.
These images have been hidden from the public for years, until today when the Pentagon declassified dozens of videos showing unidentified objects tracked by the U.S. military. This one from 2013 looks like a giant 8-pointed star, seemingly floating in the air with no explanation.
President Trump ordered the documents to be made public. In a new interview, President Trump says the conflict with Iran is not over yet, but the U.S. has won militarily. This after the U.S. fires on 2 more Iran-flagged oil tankers to stop them from docking at an Iranian port in violation of the U.S. blockade. As CBS's Weijia Zhang at the White House reports,
the fight lasted for hours, but the president insisted a ceasefire is in place as peace talks continue. Although Iran's foreign minister posted on social media, every time a diplomatic solution is on the table, the U.S. opts for a reckless military adventure, adding Iranians never bow to pressure.
President Trump says at his request, a 3-day ceasefire is about to go into effect tomorrow between Russia and Ukraine.
I'd love to see that war end. I've settled 8 wars and actually 9, and now it looks like we could have 10, but I would love to make that the 10th.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute. Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Right now, it's a mostly cloudy sky. We've got some rain in the region. It is 65 degrees downtown at the Arch. Radioactive contamination is found in the ground beneath an old apartment complex clubhouse in Hazelwood. The Army Corps of Engineers says it plans to demolish it. The Corps says the contamination is below the surface of the former French Quarter apartments and does not pose a risk to people simply being near the buildings, which have been fenced off for years. No demolition timeline has been set. Dawn Chapman of the group Just Moms STL.
The people that lived in this complex, this was a multi-family. They were condos. There were a lot of kids throughout the years. I think we're concerned with, if they moved on after living there for a little while, do they know that this is happening?
The Corps says it has not identified any additional new structures along Coldwater Creek that need to come down right now. A Teamster strike at Missouri's largest alcohol distributor could eventually show up at your local bar. Breakthrough Beverage, formerly Major Brands, supplies about 9,000 restaurants, bars, and liquor stores statewide with brands like Jameson, Absolute Vodka, and Yuengling Beer. The company is now responding to the strike, saying negotiations stalled over contract language asking workers not to honor outside picket lines. Breakthrough says contingency plans are in place to keep deliveries moving. MoDOT is challenging private contractors and traffic engineers to find the fastest, safest ways to execute the massive I-70 rebuild. The statewide expansion has caused major temporary headaches for commuters navigating the barricaded lanes. But project director Eric Kopinski says the total teardown is entirely necessary to prepare the corridor for the next 30 to 40 years of traffic.
As you travel across the state, you didn't know how long it would take. Our pavement out there on I-70 is some of the oldest in the country. The original concrete pavement was placed in the early 50s and 60s, so it's at the end of its useful life, and many of the bridges that you travel over are getting at the end of their useful life. So again, as you're traveling from Wentzville all the way over to Kansas City, you're going to see a much better, much more reliable driving experience. We're also seeing, in addition to this, and this is kind of outside the MoDOT purview, but there's a lot of economic growth that's already starting to happen because of this.
He tells the DGS the result will be a seamless, predictable drive across Missouri that safely allows big trucks to bring more business exchange to the state.
Well, we're going to have intermittent closures of westbound Highway 70 starting Monday. I'm Roger Brand. It's going to happen in Wentzville. Westbound 70 at Highway Z is going to be shut down for up to 15-minute intervals 3 times a day between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. for the next 3 weeks, and the exit ramp at Highway Z will be also closed at that time for rock excavation work alongside the highway.
Pope Leo of the Midwest celebrates his first year as leader of the Catholic Church.
1 year ago, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost was elected as the first American pope by his fellow cardinals, choosing the name Pope Leo XIV. Father John Wauck says he thinks Americans are both proud and curious about Pope Leo.
The attitude towards Pope Leo is one of part pride of having the Pope from the United States, but also curiosity.
Pope Leo says despite his well-publicized exchange of words with President Trump over the Iran war, he doesn't see his role as political, but says he will continue to speak up to the world's leaders when needed. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
After the fight at Six Flags St. Louis on opening night made headlines, here's a reminder that this is not just a St. Louis problem. Over the last weekend, more than 1,000 teenagers swarmed Icon Park in Orlando, Florida, in what police there are calling a social media takeover similar to here. Multiple fights broke out there. 2 deputies were hurt. 9 people arrested on charges ranging from battery on an officer to trespassing. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says the gathering was organized online with no single promoter behind it. More than 7 7,000 participants are expected to descend on Ballpark Village in the morning for the Girls on the Run 5K. Nearly 3,500 girls in grades 3rd through 8th from more than 170 schools across the St. Louis region will take part. It's the largest Girls on the Run event in North America. The Cardinals at the San Diego Padres coming up later this hour with pregame. Matt Pauley's got it for you, so stay tuned. Forecast from Dave Murray for tonight: overnight showers and a few non-severe storms with a low of 53. For Saturday, partly sunny, warm and breezy with a high of 80. Tomorrow night, late showers, low 55. And for Sunday, we've got some early morning showers, otherwise partly sunny, and it's going to be cooler with a high of 68. Right now, we've got some showers in the area, mostly cloudy, 65 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports Open Line. Once again, Matt Pauley on KMOX.
Back at it on KMOX as we do roll on through a Friday night. Great to have you with us. And we are efforting right now Brian Walton from the Cardinal Nation. We hope to talk with him here in just a moment or so. Always enjoy talking to him just to get not just his thoughts on the Big League Club, because he's great talking through that, but his site and all the publications that they do and everything is so focused on the entire organization and what's going on through the minor leagues, and he's as good as it gets at covering that. So hopefully we'll talk with Brian coming up in the next few minutes to be able to get through a few things, which actually leads to a text message we got that reads, if you had to make a guess which player from the minors could be called up before July, I understand it depends on where the Cardinals stand, so let's say they're in contention for the playoffs. I read that question as like, which player could get called up to have a meaningful role, right? Like a week ago, if I would have said, it's Cesar Prieto might get an opportunity, I wouldn't have said that just because he's not coming up to be somebody who's going to be in the lineup more often than not. I still think there is a very, very, very good chance that we see Joshua Baez before the season comes to an end. And if you bring Baez up, you bring him up and you play him a lot. And I don't completely know what that is going to look like for this team. There's some other things that need to get worked out. I mean, they have a full roster now, and it's going to get more full, if that is such a thing, when Lars Nootbaar returns, and they're going to have to work through that scenario as well. And I just don't know, but a lot of people say this is not an original thought by me. If Nootbaar does come back and he is able to perform at a pretty high level, there's a good chance that the organization is going to be looking to move on from him very, very quickly. I mean, I think there were a lot of rumors out there that there was trade talk involving Nootbaar in the offseason, even after he had gone through the double heel surgery. So there was still interest in him across Major League Baseball. Now, that probably would have been a sell low situation, coming off the year that he just had, and then B, coming off the surgery where he wasn't healthy. But if he puts up some numbers, I think there's an opportunity to maybe move on from him, and that doesn't hurt you, even if he puts up good numbers. And I am still a Lars Nootbaar believer. He's somebody who I think, I don't know. I've always believed in the underlying numbers. I took a little bit of a step back from that last year when the numbers weren't there, both from a baseball card number standpoint and also from, the StatCast, the underlying numbers, all of that. But then we learned that he had this heel issue where there were times where games would get over and he literally could not walk. And everything, you draw your power from your feet. I mean, everything starts in your lower body and goes up from there. So the fact that he didn't put up big numbers last year doesn't mean that he can't still put up good big numbers. And I thought he was going to have a breakout season last year. It ends up not happening. So I don't know. That'd be to my response on that. That would be my first answer, that I do think at some point we'll see Baez. I would also think that there's a good chance that we see Bryson Motts at some point this year. I do think that the Cardinals are going to be careful in adding somebody to the 40-man roster that they are expecting to be part of the organization moving forward. And more so this year than other years, because with the looming lockout, once you lock out the players, anybody who is not on the 40-man roster, you still have control over, basically. You can run them through minor league spring training. You can do everything that you would do. The facility is going to be open to them in the offseason, everything. But if a guy is on the 40-man roster and there's a lockout, the facility isn't open to them. When minor league spring training gets started, they don't have the opportunity to participate. So that's where you look at guys who are on the 40-man, and I sort of stop there on most players. I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys. I guess there's always the scenario where the team continues to play at a pretty high level, like where they're at right now, and all of a sudden you start to say to yourself, does this team not just have an opportunity to get to the playoffs? Do they have the opportunity to do something in the playoffs? And that's a far throw from where we're at right now. I think right now we can sit here and say, if this team can stay in contention for playoff consideration this year, or playoff contention this year, that's a win. That's a win. Whether they get in or not, for me, I don't know if the domino is ever going to fall where I go from ceiling being just maybe somehow, some way being a playoff team to the ceiling being a team that's got a legitimate chance to go on some type of run in the playoffs. It's hard for me to see that with this group, to be fair. I was probably as high on the Cardinals as anybody out there coming into the year. I'm the one telling everybody that, hey, this is not going to be a 100-loss team. I don't think this is even going to be probably a 90-loss team. I think it's going to be a little bit better than that. And that was an optimistic view coming into the year. So I didn't expect them to be 22-15 on May 8th. I didn't expect so let's look and see from an overall National League standpoint, because that's second in the NL Central. Right now, the Cardinals are tied for the fourth best record in the National League. The Cubs have the best record along with the Braves. They are each 26-12. Braves, by the way, they're opening a series against the Dodgers this weekend. I am very curious what that is going to look like. That's going to be a fun weekend. There's, the networks choose the national TV games before the season for the most, but this early on in the season. As the season goes along, some games will get selected for national TV as the year goes along. But with all due respect to Cardinals-Padres, and Cardinals-Padres is a matchup of two teams with top four records in the National League. But that Dodgers-Braves series, that is the series this weekend for sure that you really look at as being the big one this weekend. Great weekend of baseball, though, when you consider top five teams in the National League are Cubs, Braves, Dodgers, Cardinals, Padres. And you have two series involving two of those teams each. And then the Cubs this weekend, they're going to take on the Rangers. So they're kind of the outlier on that. We are going to take a break here. We'll try to get Brian Walton on in the future. We missed our paths crossed a little bit, or our lines crossed a little bit when it came to Brian. So we will definitely get Brian on at some point on a future program, because I wanted to talk to him about Tink Hintz. I wanted to talk to him about Liam Doyle. Wanted to talk to him about Tanner Franklin, a bunch of guys. So we'll certainly have that conversation in the future. But Kevin Ryans, he is set to join us coming up in just a moment or so. We'll get his thoughts on where this Cardinals team is at. And then we're going to get out of here. We've got Cardinals pregame tonight. I now have a cheat sheet so I can know what time stuff actually starts. It begins at 7:50. So we're going to get out of here in about 20, 25 minutes or so. A little bit longer than that, about 30 minutes before we get out of here tonight. It is a Gray Bar Sports Open Line. More in a moment right here on KMOX.
Save big on everything when you shop at Menards. Moving? Need an extra key for your house or car? Stop by Menards for all your key duplication needs with KeyMe. Our in-store kiosk can quickly and easily copy thousands of different types of home, commercial, automotive, and even key fobs. Find the bright yellow KeyMe kiosk at Menards today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. If you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're just thinking about retirement more in general, you're probably thinking about when can you retire? Will you have enough money to live on? You know, we all have retirement questions that, let's be honest, they're overwhelming and just can stress us out. But Steve All can help answer those questions so that you'll feel more confident about this next phase of your life. Check out his show, The All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday evenings at 6 here on KMOX.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Miklasz soft shoes, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Miklasz works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Miklasz soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Miklasz today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor-formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
St. Louis is a baseball town, and the Gas House Gang talks Cardinals baseball. Ackerman, Ranji, Miklasz, and Claves bring informed opinions and real insight. Smart baseball talk from guys who truly know the game. And every Tuesday at noon, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Passion, knowledge, the best baseball talk in town. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon. We know baseball. KMOX. One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It's Grey Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX. We have you for another 25 minutes. We're done early tonight because we got to get you St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight is game 2 between the Cardinals and the Padres. Cardinals played a really good game last night, winning 2-1 against a good San Diego team. And tonight, Michael McGreevy will be on the mound. 2-2, 2.52 ERA. Griffin Canning going for the Padres. No record, 1.80 ERA. Just his second start of the year. Right now, we are happy to bring onto the program a friend of the show. He is Kevin Rines. You see him over on Channel 2 and Channel 11, working as both a sports anchor and a sports reporter. Kevin, always good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Man, it looked like you guys put on quite the Battlehawks pregame show tonight. We got it on in the studio on mute. I was looking up. Every time I looked up, I saw Jordan talking to somebody wearing like a crazy mask or a crazy face paint or something. You guys went all in on the Battlehawks tonight.
For sure. And then, of course, the greatest show on turf is being honored tonight over at the Dome as well. Marshall Falk and Mike Jones. And then, of course, Dick Vermeil, who we had on the show with Martin, a one-on-one interview with Dick Vermeil. So we went all in, and of course, hopefully St. Louis brings home their third straight win tonight. If you guys are wanting to watch, it is on Fox 2. So I know shameless plug there, but want to make sure people are tuning into the Battlehawks.
The Battlehawks just took the lead. The quarterback Perez just put one in, so they're up by a 6-0 score here at this point. It's on mute in the studio because I've got a show to host here. But I was looking up when Martin was talking with Coach Vermeil. Man, Coach Vermeil looks great. Like you could put him back on the sideline right now, and he would look perfectly fine over there.
Yeah, it's incredible because we've talked to him so many times over the years, and he just is able to ability to recall so much at 89 years old is just fabulous, and he just looks great. He was telling Martin, I think, that he has a strength routine that he goes about, and he always keeps himself working, and that's great for him to be back here and interacting with the St. Louis fans. I'm sure everyone over at the Dome today is getting a big kick out of it.
Yeah, I would think so for sure. And those teams, those great St. Louis Rams teams, and the two Super Bowl appearances mean so much to football fans in this area for sure. Let's talk a little baseball. Cardinals, Padres tonight. Cardinals will be on your air, by the way, tomorrow. I know Cardinals fans are a little frustrated because it's 4 games and 4 different TV outlets, but tomorrow they will be on Big Fox, so people can check them out tomorrow on your air. But this is a team that continues to play above expectations, and we saw them go into a tough place to play with a rowdy crowd last night, Kevin, and they do just enough. They collect just enough hits, just enough runs. They win 2-1. I thought that was a really good win for this team last night.
It just shows that they can win in so many different ways. If they need a game where they can hit home runs and have power, they have the ability to do that. If they need to win close, in the back end of the bullpen, if they can get them to have a lead, that Jojo Romero and Riley O'Brien can shut the door. And then they can also win games in various different ways offensively as well, whether it's moving the runners over and moving down the line with that lineup, or if they're hitting home runs as well. So very impressed with the way that the resolve that the Cardinals have this year. They're just playing, and I know people expected them to maybe struggle and whatnot, given the direction that the team was going. But you got to remember that they have major leaguers here, guys have been here 3-4 years and with plenty of experience, and that in of itself gave them a little bit more of an upper leg as opposed to maybe some teams who were throwing out guys coming in cold. So the Cardinals playing some really fantastic baseball. I'm sure the St. Louis fans thrilled. You saw the crowds at some of the games last weekend against the Dodgers. Very impressive, and we'll see how things go the rest of the weekend here. But they are really playing great, and the St. Louis fans should be really thrilled.
Yeah, it does seem like the folks in St. Louis and the St. Louis area are starting to buy in on this thing a little bit more. And even the day game against the Brewers, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you there was a huge crowd. There wasn't. But over the last couple of years, those weekday day games, I mean, it has felt like nobody was in the ballpark. And they announced, I think, around 20,000 or so, something like that. Like to me, it felt like at least double what it's been in recent years. And I guess that's just a good sign that I think the fans are noticing, at the very least, the style of play and the effort in which this team is playing.
They're playing hard every single game. They're playing with effort. And I think that's what fans want to be able to come to the ballpark and see. It doesn't have to be the most glamorous baseball. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that they're winning every game. But if they're in every game and they're giving big effort, man, that's all you can ask for as a fan. And the Cardinals are delivering at the very least that. fans knew coming in what to expect with the team, and they're playing obviously above that. So if you can give a workman's-like mentality, very blue-collar, I think people can resonate to that.
I don't think I have anybody on to talk about Cardinals without talking about the idea of what's sustainable and what's not sustainable, because some of the things they're doing right now, they'll continue to do. Some of the things they won't continue to do. From a sustainability standpoint, what is your confidence level that they can continue to do much of what has led them to this very good record early on in the season?
I really think that their offense, I think, is sustainable. They're not going to out-homer you, though. You look at the top of the home runs in the National League, and they're up there with the best of the teams in Major League Baseball. But they're going to do a lot of the little things, the fundamental things that you see on there, and that's going to keep up for sure. The being able to move the runners over and bring them in on a fly ball and base hit when you need a base hit, and they're in double play depth and you steal and you hit the ball the other way, stuff like that that it's lost in baseball a ton. I think they do so very well. On top of that, you got to be careful with their speed. Mason Wynn can run, Victor Scott can run, Jordan Walker can run. You got a lot of young legs on that team, and because of that, there's no easy double plays. Ball into the gap, a run can score. The Cardinals, they do a lot of things, and they have a lot of athleticism on that team, a lot of youth, and that plays to their favor. Their base running is so good, and maybe more people are noticing this because people like me and people all over this station for sure talk about it all the time. But the speed that Jordan Walker shows, you don't think he's going to be a super fast guy because of how big of a dude he is. But, I mean, in a sprint, he'll probably lose to Victor Scott II, but he's not going to lose by much, and he is really, really fast. Yeah, and you couple that with the power that he's shown this year and his ability to hit and hit for average thus far, he's slowly but surely becoming the player that the Cardinals felt that he would be years back, especially the one that when he was brought up here in 2023 on opening day. And so you love to see the progress. And I just love what I've heard about his work ethic and about how he's been taking all of the criticism and all of the coaching that he's done seriously. And because of that, it has led to the results that you're seeing this year. So we originally asked you to be on at 6:20 today. We had a little bit of a miscommunication with a couple guests, and we asked you to reschedule, and you were good with it. I didn't even think in the moment. You're a Knicks guy. The Knicks are playing right now. They're at halftime. I know they were still playing right at the beginning of our conversation, but they've gone to halftime. If you would have been on at 6:20, it would have been right in the middle of them playing. So this is good, right? Because we were able to talk a little bit while the Knicks game isn't going? Bingo. I get to watch my guys play and Spike Lee and Timothy Chalamet take over the Xfinity Mobile Arena down over in Philadelphia. Looked like there was a lot of Knicks fans who made the trip down the Turnpike to go over and watch that game. So, yes, I got to watch a little bit of Knicks basketball that first half. Very good first half for my guys, who fell behind double digits, but then turned that game around at the end of that first quarter and into the second quarter. So very happy with what I'm seeing so far, but still, as a fan of this team and seeing the way they've played this year and how sometimes those games can get quite close until there's triple zeros on the clock in the fourth quarter or overtime, and they have the lead, I'm not buying anything. I got to see them finish out this game and hopefully go up 3 games to none. Is Timothy Chalamet like a legit lifelong Knicks fan, or is he a fair weather show up in the playoffs guy? Legit Knicks fan. There's a picture of him back in, it might be either 2010 or 2011. He's in Grand Central Station. I guess there was a New York Knicks event, and he's taking pictures with Landry Fields, who was a late first round, early second round pick by the Knicks back in 2010, and Andy Routens, the pride of Syracuse University, Andy Routens. He took a picture with both of them. Of course, nobody's going to know who Andy Routens and Landry Fields are at this point. Maybe a diehard Knicks fan would, but Timothy Chalamet is in a picture with the both of them, and he's wearing Knicks gear. So legit Knicks fan. And by the way, I mean, when you can come out and be courtside with Kylie Jenner, that's a big flex. So good for Timothée Chalamet, superstar actor and a superstar Knicks fan.
So I know he had her at Madison Square Garden. He brought her to Philadelphia. Kylie's with him?
I don't think she's with him tonight.
Oh, okay.
But she's been with him at basically all the Knicks games, except for she might have been at Met Gala night. So game 1 when Chalamet was at the game, skipping the Met Gala to watch basketball. So that's dedication.
So Kylie Jenner cannot grace Philadelphia with her presence, though.
No, I'm sure the Philadelphia people probably don't want to see too many of the Knicks super fans on their court side, but they're getting a dose of it tonight. Spike Lee and Tracy Morgan and all the people that I've seen. So good for them.
All right. Fair enough for sure. Well, best of luck to your Knicks. They are up 60-52 at halftime. They're trying to take a 3-0 series lead. Kevin, always enjoy the conversations, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.
Matt, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the way on your show. You guys do such a great job. I listen all the time.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Kevin Ryan's joining us on the program. Appreciate him taking some time and getting a little Timothée Chalamet talk. Kyle, have you ever seen, he's been on College Game Day. Have you ever seen him, break down games on College Game Day?
He's diehard, man.
He's like break down Appalachian State against Southern Miss. Well, let me tell you. And, he just go, it doesn't matter who. He is all in.
Yeah, it's crazy. You didn't, you think of Timothée Chalamet, and you were like, oh, he must be this pretentious actor.
Yeah.
And it's not at all who he is. He is a diehard sports fan, and it's kind of awesome.
It is. So, and he's dating Kylie Jenner. He's sitting courtside. I mean,
he's winning.
He is winning. He is winning for sure. You are hopefully winning, or at least you hope that you're winning, because you're listening to KMOX, and that's always good. And you're going to be listening to Cardinal baseball soon, and hopefully the Cardinals are winning as they did last night over the Padres by a 2-1 score. We need the Charlie Sheen winning thing right here. If this was radio 15 years ago, every radio station in the world had that on a hotkey. You need Charlie Sheen to say winning. It was ready. That was as radio cliche as you could have gotten when all that was going down. But you don't hear that quite as much anymore, and thankfully so. All right, one more break. We will return. We'll wrap up this program, and then we'll get you ready for Cardinals baseball. It's the Cardinals. It's the Padres. It's tonight right here on KMOX.
Here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year. This year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down. 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
All right, just a few minutes left on this edition of a Gray Bar Sports Open Line here on KMOX. Looks like the Battlehawks are playing some pretty good football right now. They are matched up against Columbus over at the Dome. They're looking for their third straight win in the first quarter. They've got a 14-0 lead. Night where the greatest show on turf is being honored on the national Fox TV broadcast. I was just looking up. They had Dick Vermeil on a few moments ago. So always great when those guys are back in town for sure. And great to see the Battlehawks continuing to play some pretty good football. I joke all the time on these West Coast games that you're just getting way too much of me. Because we got Rush Hour, and then we got Sports Open Line, and then Cardinals pregame and Cardinals postgame. Well, add in the fact that today on Fridays I do Gas House Gang as well, and Ron was off today. He's only do the first half hour on Fridays from 12 to 12:30. If either Ron's or Claves is off, I'll do the whole hour. So I did the whole hour today. Kyle Sixta, we almost had a major disaster this morning when it came to that.
Break it
this
down for
afternoon.
me.
All right, so I am somebody who goes to bed very late at night / early in the morning. It's not healthy, but it is what it is. So I got to bed like it was after 5 o'clock in the morning by the time I finally got to bed. And my wife was working this morning. So what actually wakes me up is we have the baby monitor. And when our 2-year-old daughter starts to cry a little bit, she's woken up. That wakes me up. I hear it on the monitor, and then I get going. God bless her. She decided she was going to sleep in this morning, which is great. So she slept in to a little bit after 10 o'clock in the morning, which is, I got like 5 hours sleep, which is way more than I actually normally get. So that's all good. So I get up and I'm kind of, I'm still a little groggy, and I got to get her breakfast. But I was like, I'll throw something on the TV for a few minutes and I'll sit on the couch and I'll just kind of, slowly come out of my being awake. And I sort of doze in and out, and I lose all track of time. And she's got Bubble Guppies on. For people who don't know, that's a kid's show. She loves her Bubble Guppies. And like an hour goes by, and I'm basically like in a half awake, half asleep sort of trance. I have an Apple Watch. Thank goodness that I do. if you haven't moved in the hour, it like zaps you. It gives you a little buzz at 10 to the hour to remind you to stand up and walk a little bit. At 11:50, it goes off. And for those who don't know, when I'm doing Gas House Gang, I have a home studio. I do that from there. If people are like not following along with it. So I'm not actually at the Camo X studios. I do stuff from my home studio when I'm doing that on Fridays. At 11:50, it buzzes me. And I look down like, oh my gosh, I am on the air in 10 minutes. I haven't fed my daughter breakfast. I haven't done anything. Hopefully my wife's not listening right now. If she knew what was going on, she'd kill me. Not really. She'd understand. But I jump up, I grab my daughter, I get her to the kitchen table, I get like a applesauce pouch, I get some water for her, give that to her, run back, we're on video, so I can't just I look like a total ragamuffin at that point. My hair's all over the place. I'm still wearing what I wore to bed. Like I throw a polo on out of my closet, I put some stuff in my hair, and 10 minutes later, on the air doing Gas House Gang. And if I wasn't telling this story right now, hopefully nobody would have known the difference.
No, for all the people that were watching on the video stream that were wondering why Matt Pauley had bedhead, now they know why. So
I think I pulled it off all right. So I've got one product that if I need to do like an emergency, I have to go make myself presentable for a somewhat short amount of time. Like it's camera appropriate, but maybe not walk outside the house appropriate. I've got something that I can use.
No, shout out to the Apple Watch, though.
Yeah.
Game saver.
Game saver.
That's big time.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, Claves would have been fine.
Right.
But, it was me and Claves. So, yeah, if anybody was watching, if you thought I sounded like, because those were basically the first words that had come out of my mouth at 12 noon today, if it sounded that way, there you go. So there is the inside story to me almost missing Gas House Gang today, and thankfully for the app, I should get an endorsement from Apple Watch.
You should, and you can tell that story.
Yeah, like, hey, if the radio show would not have maybe gone on. Well, again, Claves would have been fine. I'm overstating my importance when I say that. So that was my afternoon. Sometimes you don't totally know what's going on in the background on things, but that's little did you know if you were listening today at 12 o'clock that I was in a weird trance watching Bubble Guppies just 10 minutes before that. The life of being a dad who sometimes watches the kid when wife is at work in the morning. All right, so we got about a minute left here in the program. We need to transition from our Bubble Guppies talk to Cardinals talk, as they are going to match up against the Padres tonight. I'm looking forward to see what Michael McGreevy can do this evening. I know this Padres team is a middle of the pack offensive club from a raw number standpoint. When the season gets over, you got to believe Manny Machado's numbers are going to be there. You got to believe that Fernando Tatis's numbers are going to be there. You got to believe that Jackson Merrill's numbers are going to be there. Like I do not buy the idea that that's the track that they're on for this year. And those are really good hitters, and they've got other good hitters on the team as well. And it'll be fun to watch how Michael McGreevy goes about attacking this entire lineup. So that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. So we'll catch our breath. We'll take about 5 minutes or so. And then we've got official coverage of the Cardinals and the Padres. It's coming up in just a few minutes here on KMOX.
Getting the kids